Hi besties. So this does feel a little bit ridiculous for me to be talking about seeing that I have like 40 subscribers and the person in question has like millions. But just in case, because there was one video that I watched that they linked to a CJ the X video in their cards, and they're like, I'm sure you've seen CJ the X before, like I'm probably not the one to introduce you to CJ the X, but I'd never seen them before, so like that was my first introduction. Or like maybe I'd seen like the thumb title on the side or something, but I've never like clicked on one till that point. So on the off chance somebody hadn't seen a contrapoints video until I mentioned her twice that I can remember. There was one time I was talking about like thumbnails, and I was like, I don't know if I should be putting more effort into my thumbnails, because like FD Signifier was talking about in his video about video essays, he was talking about thumbnails and how he changes his thumbnails a lot, and then he's like, contrapoints doesn't do that. Contrapoints just like serves face, and then we all just decide like, okay, we're gonna watch this. And then another time I mentioned, like I was talking about Twilight, and I said like Twilight, the contrapoints Twilight video was really good. So like if there was anybody who happened to go watch those from me, because of me, on the off chance, it's possible, you know. I just wanted to talk about the statement that she released, which like I don't have it in front of me, and there's a bunch of other videos about it. I've seen two, or well, I've watched two, and I've seen more coming up like on the side that I didn't click on. But yeah, so ContraPoints has been pretty quiet about Palestine, but I just started watching her videos like kind of recently. Like I don't follow her on social media and stuff, so like I don't even use Instagram anymore, so it wasn't like, oh, I'm following ContraPoints, let me go follow her on Instagram and see what's going on. Yeah, apparently like she released a statement about Gaza. People have been asking her, or Palestine in general, but like yeah, people have been asking her to talk about it, and she released a statement on Reddit, which I think is just so ridiculous. But yeah, it starts with like, do you really, like, people have been asking why I haven't made a Palestine video. It's like, do you really want would a ContraPoints Palestine video make you happy? No. Like, do you want me to get in the bath? This is like the most ridiculous part. Do you want me to get in the bath and pour milk on a mannequin of Benjamin Netanyahu? Like, no, we want you to talk about the genocide and say that it's bad. Say like, this shouldn't be happening. And maybe like help a Palestinian family like raise money, because like you have a lot of subscribers and they could like chip in and like maybe get somebody out. But like, she's like, I've posted about Palestine a few times, about Gaza, and like, is Israel committing genocide? Yes. Is that bad? Yes. But like, am I feeling this way about it? Yes. But I'm also feeling other things, and the first one's doom. And it's like, do you think Palestinians aren't feeling doom? Like, shut the I'm like, that sounds so like tone deaf, you know what I mean? And then the next one's misery, and it's like, those aren't really that different. You're feeling doom and misery, like, wow. Also, do you think Palestinians aren't feeling misery? Like, I was just like, it's so ridiculous. And then like she just says a lot of stuff that's not true about like, there's like multiple definitions of Zionism, and like some of them are good and some of them are bad, basically, and like I'm paraphrasing, but it's like, no, like you can't, like, if you believe that Israel has a right to exist like under the current way that it's existing now, like you're fine. You're just like, genocide is fine then, because like Israel literally was invented as, I mean, it like existed in history, but it was like these like colonizers in the 1890s like decided to like take the land from Palestine. Like Winston Churchill, the fucking, what do they call it, prime minister or whatever, of England, gave away the land of Palestine without asking them. It's not his land to give away. Like, why do British people think they can just like control the whole, I mean, Americans do it too now. I'm not trying to like distance myself. I'm not like, I'm one of the good ones, because I'm American, not British, like whatever. But anyway, it's just like, why do you think that's okay to give away land that's not yours? You didn't ask. And like, then it'd be one thing if like the people who came in were like building their own houses there, or like they were having houses. I mean, there were like victims of the Holocaust coming over, but actually that's not as true as we think, because some of them were actually turned away because they were too weak. They were turned back they like got to Palestine / Israel, whatever you want to call it at the time. And they were sent back because they were too weak, because they couldn't fight off the Palestinians that they needed to steal homes from. So if you believe that Israel, like the country that exists right now, has a right to exist, and like you're not basing this off like the Bible, like Israel existed in the past, and so like theoretically, according to the Torah, we should have a Jewish homeland or whatever. Like if you believe that like separately, like theoretically I do think it might be nice like if Germany gave up some of their land, because they were the ones that did the Holocaust, and they wanted to like have a Jewish ethno-state there because like they killed so many Jewish people, but they also killed people who weren't Jewish. Like they were like also being racist, homophobic, transphobic, killing people who were not Jewish but gay or trans or like people of color. And it's like like if Germany could do that and give up some of their land, maybe that would be okay, but like it doesn't exist anywhere in the world for anyone else. So like why, I mean you could argue like America is like a very Christian, and then like Italy is very Catholic from like the stereotypes that I've seen, but like yeah, there's no other like actual ethno-state, so like why? But I mean I understand like Jewish people have been like persecuted for so long by so many people, so like I don't know, I don't know if I'm Jewish either, because okay, there was one time we were at my uncle's house for like Thanksgiving dinner, and then he said that his mom, so like my grandma, my mom's mom, was half Jewish. So I'm like, if she was Jewish, and like I don't know that much about Judaism, but what I do know is it's passed down like by the maternal line, or like I guess I said that really confidently, and then I was like, I don't actually know that. I've heard it before. So like hypothetically, if my mom's mom was half Jewish, I don't know what that means, then it's passed down to my mom, and then it's passed down to me. So like technically I guess I could be Jewish, I don't know. And then the thing about that story is like, I remember telling someone once, I was like, so I think I'm like, if my grandma's 1/2 Jewish, then my mom would be like 1/4, and then I'd be 1/8. And I said like to, oh my gosh, okay, I said this to a guy that like my sister was friends with, and like from high school. I wasn't really close to him. I was like, I think we're 1/8 Jewish, and then he's like, oh, then I think I 1/8 hate you. And I was like, what the fuck? Why would you say that? So like I have experienced anti-Semitism 1/8. But yeah, anyway, I just want to say that the contrapoint statement was really bad, and I don't have it in front of me. I'm not going to go through word by word, but again, there are other videos like I've never seen a Hasan Pike, I think it is, video. Honestly, I never heard of him until people were starting to like criticize him. They're like, he bought a house and that's bad because he's like a socialist, and like, and I don't know, it's just kind of weird. I was like, what's going on here? And I thought they were talking about like Hasan Minhaj, the comedian, because yeah, he did a special like where I went to college, and he said he like was not born because he was born like, he's Indian, and then he like immigrated here, but yeah, he grew up like in the town, it's Davis, California. That's where I went to college. Like you can figure that out from his special Homecoming King, I think. It's very funny, but I'm also disappointed in his public like whatever stance on Palestine. I mean, after watching the Patriot Act, I just like assumed that he'd be like good on Israel and Palestine, and it seems like, I mean, he probably knows what's going on and stuff, but it doesn't seem like he's talking about it. Like there was one video I remember seeing like shortly after October 7th, where he was like talking about, like he started the video by saying like, a lot of people have been asking me why I haven't talked about Palestine, and a lot of other people are asking me about this. Like apparently a newspaper, like the New York Times or something, accused him of lying in that special Homecoming King, because he like he explains in the video that like yeah, like the facts of the story didn't pan out the way he said in the comedy special, but like he rewrote it to like build the suspense, to like make it a better story to tell on stage. Even though like most of the things happen, like there's a girl, he asked a white girl to prom, and then apparently her parents said like she couldn't go with him because the family would see him in the pictures and like ask questions. And so she told him in real life ahead of time before that she wasn't gonna go to prom with him. And then in the story on stage, he makes it sound like he got dressed, biked over to her house, and like knocked on the door, and then like saw her with another guy inside, and then her parents like told him or something that like, oh yeah, we don't want to go with you or something. And then she ends up marrying like a very Indian man with a very Indian name, which was also like faked for the story because he didn't want to like out this person who like really had done nothing wrong to him. So yeah, he didn't want to like dox somebody, so he did lie about a few things on stage, and then like that's what the video was about. But I was like, why did he even bring up Palestine then if he's like not gonna talk? Like, why even acknowledge? Like, people are asking me why I don't talk about Palestine, and I'm still not going to. I'm gonna talk about this other thing instead. And I was like, okay, it was kind of disappointing, but like, yeah. And then I saw recently someone was sharing a video of him in like a little, it was like a podcast type environment, like a round table kind of thing, and there are like some Zionists, like I think maybe Deborah Messing was like in the same circle as him, and they're like, if there's, the caption was like, if there's like 9 Nazis, I think it might be 11, whatever, I don't remember the number, but like if there's 9 Nazis at a table and you don't get up from the table, there's 10 Nazis at the table, you know what I mean? So it's like, if you're like gonna just sit there casually joking around with somebody, or I don't know what the podcast was about, he's a comedian though, he probably was joking around, even if no one else was, he's probably sitting there joking with like a Zionist, so like how is that not supporting Israel, you know what I mean? Like you're like giving her like credit, but just by like being in the same room with her, just by like talking with her, you're just like, this is like a valid person to like listen to, and then she's like spouting Zionist hatred, and yeah, just not good. So I'm disappointed in ContraPoints, disappointed in Hasan Minhaj, disappointed in so many people. That was weird. Oh, I didn't get my tea today. Oh well. I guess I'll end the video here because I don't really have that much more to say. I just like, ever since I started making these videos, like I'll get up and go, like my cat will wake me up in the morning, and I'll go like outside with him, or like sit. I was just sitting at the kitchen table, but like yeah, he doesn't want me sleeping in, unfortunately, so he just wakes me up, and then he like wants to go outside, so I go outside or sit near where I can see him, whatever. I just found myself like sitting there like talking to myself like almost out loud, like I was kind of like moving my mouth to like, I was like, I'm so disappointed in ContraPoints, like, and like planning like all this stuff that I was gonna say. I'm like, why don't I just go sit down and say it? So yeah, disappointed in ContraPoints and Hasan Minhaj. Who else? Like, there are other celebrities that I was disappointed in, but we don't need to get into that. I'm just gonna stop it there because like those 2 people specifically are like supposedly like leftist. I think ContraPoints, I was watching a video of her recently and I commented on this one and someone liked it, so I might be able to link it after I upload it. I'll look for it, but yeah, so there was like one point in the video which was about like black and white thinking. I forgot what the whole topic was, but it was like yeah, she got to the point about black and white thinking, and it was like people just get too hung up on their side, and or like I think it was about like kind of something slightly different. The getting hung up on the sides was about that was from an astrology video that I watched yesterday, and that like really just like pissed me off. Like my hands were shaking and I had to like make a really quick video that I put on like Jiao Hongshu and up scrolled. Upscrolled is like a new, if you haven't heard of it, like I don't know if it's Palestinian owned, but they're like they support Palestine, and it's like almost like Instagram. It's like very similar to Instagram, but it's like, yeah, an app that isn't gonna like delete your account for talking about Palestine and stuff. So if you want to make one, I did. I'm on there, Lauren Julia, 2 N's, 2 A's, and on Jiahongshou. Anyway, what was I saying? Yeah, that was like an astrology video, but the contrapoints video, I think she was talking about like how some people will say that they believe one thing when they really believe another, and she's like some people will say they don't like the Zionist governing body or whatever in Israel when they really just don't like Jews, and it's like, no. I actually just don't like Zionism, but okay. So I left a comment, and I was like, this was probably like pre-October 7th, like she probably didn't really know that much that was going on. And then like the statement came out a few days after I saw that, and it was just like, oh my gosh, how upsetting, how disappointing. But like, I guess, I don't know, it's kind of like not that surprising, I guess, because she's been canceled before, but like I did watch her video called like canceled or whatever, and like I saw that before like I saw any of the, like I wasn't a fan of hers, so I didn't see all the people talking about like the Buck Angel thing that was going on, which like I watched her video about it, and like it seemed like she made some good points to me. I don't know, I was like, I don't really know, and I'm not trans, I'm not like that, like I don't know that much about like the like trans trenders and stuff, so like it's not really an issue that like affected me, so like I wasn't as aware of it, and then so like it slipped by. So like I don't know, maybe it's like to be expected because she's like been, I don't know. Yeah, there were like 5 videos that I remember, like they all bring up this like black and white thinking is bad, like there's not 2 sides to everything, like it's not just Democrats and Republicans, which I think is a silly example to give for that, because it's like, yeah, I know that, because they're actually 2 sides of the same like fascist government coin. Like we don't have an actual left-wing party, we have 2 right-wing parties in this country, so like, yeah, Democrats and Republicans, they're not opposites. That's not a good example of like black and white thinking. And then they always bring up Israel and Palestine too, and it's like, that's just not, you don't know what's going on. Otherwise you wouldn't say that. And like part of me thinks they're just saying it so that people will like argue about it in the comments, and it's like, I don't want to give them the satisfaction. And then also like, I know that if they're like, yeah, like people get too passionate about their take on Israel and Palestine, and they like refuse to see the other side and listen to like what anyone else has to say, and it's like, ugh, because, okay, I already said I was gonna end this video, sorry. I think it's funny when I'm watching a video and they're like, okay, I'm gonna stop, and there's still like 10-20 minutes left. Like, oh my gosh, I relate so much. Anyway, yeah, so I was talking about the contrapoints and then black and white thinking, and there are other videos that have brought it up. And then, yeah, I'm just like, if I go in the comments be like, actually you're wrong and you're stupid and you need to learn what I say is true, they're just gonna like take that as like confirmation bias that like, oh, here's another like pro-Palestinian person who's like too passionate about their side, who's like unwilling to even see the other side. You know what I mean? And it's like, I've seen the other side, like as an American growing up, this is what I was like thinking about at the kitchen table. I was like, as an American, I've experienced like the same kind of propaganda that like Israelis are being fed since birth. Have you seen that video of that girl? I think her name's like Daniela Weiss is the name that comes to mind. I'm sorry if that's wrong. But she's like, you have to brainwash people for Zionism to continue. You have to brainwash people. Like, it's so crazy. Like Israelis are brainwashed like from birth, just like Americans, about like their right to the land that they're on. And like Americans are taught like, oh, Columbus came and discovered this land, and like there were people on it kind of, but like they didn't really know what to do with the land. They were kind of like too stupid to like do farming. They didn't know how to take care of it, which like isn't true. Roy Casagrande points this out a lot. He says there's like two competing myths about the founding of America, where like so there's like the myth of like Thanksgiving, where like the colonizers came over and they were like so like poor and like hungry, and like they needed help from these like nice Indians who like made them this dinner, and now we celebrate that. But then also like they were too stupid to like figure out how to grow food and like take care of their land properly, so like it only makes sense that we took it from them, you know what I mean? Yeah, so Roy Casagrande points that out a lot, the contradiction in his video. And then also like the lies about like Palestine being, or Israel being the land without people. Is it? Yeah, land without people for a people without land. But then it's like, then who are all these people in Gaza? Like, where did they come from? If there were no people, like, whose houses are you all stealing then? So like, yeah, it's the same kind of thing. Like they're not, there was no one here, but like there were people here, but they're all like terrorists, so we just have to like kill them. And it's like, it sucks, but like, and then the other thing that like just drives me crazy is the line that's like, I haven't heard it in a while, I feel like I'm gonna mess it up. Like, we can forgive them for killing our children, but we can't forgive them for making us kill their children. I might have like misquoted that, but it's just like, then don't kill their children. Like, then stop killing their children, you know what I mean? Like, don't go try to like steal people's houses from them, kill them if they refuse to leave, and then like they're obviously gonna fight back. Like, ugh, it's just ridiculous. The propaganda. So like, I have seen the other side, you know what I mean? This reminds me of like, there was a time, so I have talked about like I was sexually assaulted when I was 20 years old, and then my roommate when I was I was like 26 maybe, my roommate was raped, and like a lot of our coworkers didn't believe her, and like there was one girl in particular that was like, she told me that other people were saying, like talking behind her back and saying like, oh, we think she's lying about this, and I was like really upset about it. I was like, why would they think she's lying? They're like, she was like, you have to see it from their perspective. And I was like, no, I don't, because I have seen it. Like, it's like, as a sexual assault survivor, like, I think you need to see it from my perspective, and also I have seen it from your perspective. Like, and yeah, it's just like, of course people who believe that Israel has a right to exist are gonna like be really passionate about their side and like fight, because of the trauma that like Jewish people have experienced in the past. Like, I think if you say that like Israel doesn't have a right to exist, to them, in their mind, they believe that like the only way Jewish people can be safe is if they have like a Jewish homeland. And so if you're saying, again, to them, from their perspective, if they believe this, then what they hear when you say Israel doesn't have a right to exist is that they don't have a right to exist because they don't have somewhere that they can be safe without that. But like, that's dangerous. That's a dangerous ideology, to be like, you won't be safe unless you have like an ethno state. Like, that's wild. And yeah, like, the other side is Israel's committing genocide, and that's why everyone's so passionate about the genocide ending. So it's not a good example of black and white thinking. Neither is Democrats and Republicans. I think I am actually gonna end this video now. So thanks for watching. Free Palestine, free Congo, free Sudan, free all oppressed beings everywhere. If you want, I have other channels you can check out, but thanks for watching. Okay, bye.